Hello and welcome to Patch. I'm your host Paul James, and in this episode I'm joined by Damo Camilleri, who I clearly caught off guard, and Jay Parnas.
I'm on guard.
He's on guard, good.
On guard.
Oh, no. We're no ostrich from Donkey Kong Country.
That was the fish.
Oh, damn it, I got them mixed up. Yeah, alright, good. Alright, so in this week's episode, we're talking about gaming's guilty pleasures, our kind of guilty pleasures, the games that we may not necessarily be prepared to own up to owning, playing, enjoying.
Loving.
And then kind of explaining the rationale behind that. We'll start with you, Jay, just because you had a take on it that, it didn't quite
Not
click
in line with anyone.
So go with it. Kind of explain your rationale here, because this is a whole different perspective to this topic that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I don't have any. The reason that I do not have any is because I will fucking straight up tell you that I like games regardless of how potentially embarrassing they may be for some people. Though I don't generally have a huge subset of games that I guess people would find embarrassing or anything like that for whatever reason. For me, I'll happily sing a game's praises. And this is, again, when it comes to the guilty pleasure question, whether it be watching anime and the series that I like, or TV, or music that I listen to, or fucking anything that I'm enthused about for whatever reason, I will generally sing its praises in a public forum, whether you want to hear it or not. As you can generally tell by watching any of these videos.
Any of these episodes.
Yeah.
But there's some that you're kind of a low-key fan of.
Yeah, so that's...
you looked it through.
Yeah, that's the thing. So for me, it's just games that I guess, that I'd have a genuine fondness for that may not necessarily be, I guess, outwardly obvious.
Yeah.
And that's so I really like skateboarding games. I'm a big fan of the Skate series. Hopefully they bring that back at some point. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series, right up until they killed it. Which, boy, did they kill it.
Stop. It's already dead.
Yeah, pretty much right up until Underground 2, and that was right about where I tagged out. Maybe American Wasteland. I can't remember if that was before or after. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And so those sorts of games. Snowboarding as well. I'm a huge fan of...
1080?
Never really played 1080, but I played Snowboard Kids, if you want to go back to that era. But
Steep?
No. I was more of an SSX guy because fucking, it's tricky. We all know what's up. Skate or die, not quite. That's a little before my time, mate.
Fuck yeah.
California games, no. But yeah, SSX, that was another one. Fucking, what else? Not really any other sports games. I'm not a FIFA guy, not an NBA guy, none of that shit, and not even UFC or anything like that. I play fighting games and brawlers. I don't need realistic fighting when I've got bullshit. I'm a big racing game fan, but specifically arcade racing. So games like Burnout and Need for Speed. I will fucking Ricer, Underglow shit all day. I will vinyl for hours. I don't care.
You're just making up words, I think.
I will make
no clue what's going on.
I will take a Japanese imported car and put neon underglows on it and then spend hours making, well, not necessarily hours, but I will spend a significant portion of time putting
stickers on it.
Stickers on the side, yeah.
Okay, right.
To make really dumb, I have spent legitimate real world hours making other logos with squares and circles and shit. Not quite to the Forza level, but definitely to more rudimentary levels. Midnight Club was also another one that, especially LA, that had that, which I don't know where that series has gone, but boy, have arcade races kind of fallen by the wayside. Yeah. Burnout, gone. Need for Speed, they can't make a good one to save their lives. Midnight Club, fucking GTA Online makes way too much money for them to stop doing that, so who knows? I'm left high and dry. Other than that, I don't really know. I guess, some very light JRPGs like Pokemon, I guess.
But you still don't hesitate to get in a nice lengthy conversation about...
No, absolutely not.
You've seen episodes of you, the viewer, watching right now. You've seen us talk about Pokemon in depth at times, and you've been a major part of those conversations.
I will talk about natures and fucking moves and accuracy and shit like that, and I will tell you how dope Scyther is. I don't give a fuck. But
go check out the game from a couple weeks ago.
Like really cool. Scyther's really fucking cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that's. Just trying to think if there's anything else, but not really. I mean, stuff that's really flashy and cool, kind of like, you know, No More Heroes and stuff like that. But again, that's like I tout that.
But you're definitely not low key about it.
No, absolutely not. No,
you're a fan.
But again,
I'm
like that's
dreading the day that we have to play one for Games Club.
Oh, it's
not dreading.
it's coming.
Actually, I enjoy it more than most of the games.
It's coming. But yeah, you know, stuff like that, like the Blood Dragons of the world, that type of stuff, which I guess has its sort of niche fan base of people who like retro, crazy, dumb shit. You know, that type of auteur stuff I'm a big fan of. But again, not super low key, but low key enough that it may not be the first vibe that I give off.
Yeah, fair enough. Damo, what gets you when you wake up? What gets
directly after he's done that, then what gets you?
What gets you up and about that's not, I guess, part of what I discuss on here on a weekly basis? Because Fire Emblem doesn't count. We know. God,
tell us your dirty little secrets, Damo.
Oh, well. Please, everyone, come along. As Damo regales.
Come on.
I don't. People don't normally know this, so welcome, internet.
Yeah. Deep dark secrets come up. I'm looking forward to some of the tweets that go up around this.
I'm a huge fan of wrestling games. I don't play them often, and I don't normally go out and buy them. But like, if someone
when I do,
but if someone like if it comes up free or discounted or something like that, I'm normally there. Like, I think I still have one on my Xbox 360 that I if I ever dredge it up, I always play it. And I spend hours and hours designing like really cool characters and creating the coolest like intros for them and shit like that.
So to be clear, when you say wrestling games, you don't necessarily mean games with wrestling moves in them. You mean like the shitty WWE licensed
WWE games. Okay. Yes, that's.
Because don't get me wrong, there's few things cooler than a stylish suplex, but you're talking about.
So my Xbox has like 5 characters made that I normally like will pick and choose around. So one's Finn the Human, like he actually looks like Finn from Adventure Time. Okay. Like I've got like a beanie. Like I got cat ears, like shaped them and things. Then like blue t-shirt, made him really buff. I did do a.
This is why we call this a guilty pleasure.
I did do a Hank.
This is actually this topic is working. Thank you, Jack Cruz, for this topic. Yeah. This is awesome.
I did because like I saw it one day. Like somebody made like a Hank from King of the Hill, and it's like bringing the propane, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, yes, I will have that again, super buff,
propane, and propane accessories. Is that the line?
That's the line. Yeah. Fuck. Who else have I made? I made like I've made like some crazy women characters, like just because back then they were divas, they weren't really women's wrestling, so
Any Xena Warrior Princess?
Nah, more Queen's Blade. If you guys ever watch that, please don't.
Speaking of guilty pleasure.
I'm relieved. I have no idea what that is.
That moment of God, I've said too much.
I stumbled across it through the dumbest means possible.
Dumbest memes or dumbest memes possible?
I was just watching. I was just like, oh, this looks like a really sweet fighting anime. It was just fan service. I was like, oh.
Like Ikito-sen level?
Yeah,
yeah, alright.
More.
I
don't know if more.
I don't know, because that shit
mid-range, but I watched that entire thing like a couple of months ago. I was just like, time for a fan service marathon. Like the fighting's amazing.
Yeah, what's it called?
Ikito-sen.
Dude, it's like crotch shots for days.
Oh, right.
It's like this guy like fights in a crotch.
It's a good thing,
and it's just like, psh, it's like, where does her clothes rip? But regardless,
I'm usually a little bit down whenever I have to go
Is it
through one of these
Sengoku
episodes,
Basara?
but right
Is
now
one of
I'm
those?
so glad I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Anime is a deep, dark hole
Yeah,
from
this
which...
is something I'm quite glad that I'm not privy to.
I do talk about Pokemon on here and things like that, but like, you know, if
Why
you
do we
meet,
keep bringing that up?
you meet me in the streets, like, I'm not gonna be sitting there like going,
Nah, bros, I'm too swole.
Come and look at my
"Man,
sidebar!
I'm gonna beat the shit out of that kid like all Pokemon.
He's a
Like, and it's
praying
like,
mantis
you know,
with fucking blades.
not many
for
people
hands.
know that I'm like I'm a big like, you know, Pokemon buff. Like they just think, oh, he just plays it.
Again, you've seen some of these episodes in the past.
Yeah. Like, you know, I get right into it now, like, whoa. But yeah, it is a guilty pleasure, like, you know, I'm not sitting there like, you know,
Cut you in
I
half.
kind of rub my hands together when I see new Pokemon, like, if this one comes out on the Switch, like, this bad boy will be with me all the time.
Ooh. Yeah, look out. Look out.
It's almost like Bayonetta is a guilty pleasure because of just how it, like, how saucy it is. Like,
Titillating.
sit there
You don't want
kind of-
someone- you don't
Well,
want someone walking in
yeah.
to see that on the screen.
It's kind of like...
And you can be totally innocent in what you're doing, but you're just
Yeah, I mean,
you're playing that game like, oh,
it's a
wish you
bit,
didn't
it's a
see
bit
that.
like that, you know, that meme where it's like the mum bus like kicks in the door and it's like, what are you watching? As he minimizes like My Little Pony and he's like watching porn. Just watching porn, and it's
He'd rather
like,
own up to that than My Little Pony.
Like, what are you doing? Porn. Like, just rather say that than think. It's a bit like that with and it's like, what are you doing? Eating cheese naked. I don't know. Shut up.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Hentai.
What else? What else is a guilty pleasure? Jeez.
Jesus, is going well so.
Oh yeah, I know you.
I've really enjoyed
it's
this topic.
absolutely thrown me under the bus.
That's just because you're like, shit to hang on, Dave.
No, that doesn't
Yeah,
at all.
no, no,
Again, these anime and stuff that sailed over my head.
I'm
so I
not
have
married
no
yet.
clue what we're
Remember
talking
that, people. I'm not married yet. Wait till the.
Ladies are single.
Anyway, Paul, you go. I'll think of more. Actually, Commander Keen. Commander Keen's a big guilty pleasure. There's nothing like, you know, like about it, but it's just kind of like those
Yeah, he doesn't
retro,
get-
those
doesn't get
retro
naked in the
games.
middle.
Like, you know, you just kind of sit there and you pick up and you play and you're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. It's like, you know, you've got everything else in the world to do, and there's so many other games to play, but there's just certain things you just always come back to, and you're like, oh, sauce me up, ladies. Like, yeah, skate or die, or ski or die, or
Ski free.
Die or die.
what, Chips Challenge from like old
yeah,
Windows
Chips Challenge.
computers. Commander Keen. I freaking love some Commander Keen. Like, never was a really big Minecrafter or anything like that, so I played it.
Good on you.
It was like, yeah, I played it.
Got
So I
my
thought,
support on
this,
that
is,
one.
this was, I thought, you know, when I first went, I'm like, this is great. It's like, what a fantastic thing. And then it was like 3 hours in, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of done. And then people were like, I built this mega city. It's like, never going to be as good as that. So it's like,
Yeah, fair enough.
Paul's guilty pleasure is shitting on Minecraft. Like,
There's no guilt here.
that's not figurative either. That's literally getting like pristine.
Squatting over a copy of the
just-
game and,
that's right.
and just spraying all over it if possible.
Yeah, it's like 2 Pauls, 1 Minecraft.
Again, thank you, Jack, for this topic. I guess I'm up.
yeah, I'll think of some more.
So for mine,
I'm
I mean,
just gonna open up
if
my
you watch
Steam.
the show, you already know that I play Pokemon Go. But that is one, like, I've just started a new place of employment this year, and like they know that I play games and review games, that sort of thing, and I get the question like from those who aren't super knowledgeable about games, like, what do you play? Pokemon Go is not a game I'll mention. I'll talk about your Witches of the world, your Final Fantasies, your Zeldas, like those ones that kind of hold a bit of prestige within the industry, Uncharted, those Last of Us, those sorts of things, and kind of introducing these sort of experiences. And we'll never mention that I play Pokemon Go. And the same idea kind of extends to, though it's closer to the real experience, so I don't perhaps bundle it quite in as bad as Pokemon Go, but Fire Emblem Heroes gets the same sort of thing. I mostly just things that on mobile. Run Sackboy Run was another one that I chased down and platinumed. Because it came to the Vita. So originally it was a mobile game. came to and it was an
Did you have fun playing with your sack ball?
It's an endless runner. That's all
Oh,
it
I'll
is.
bet. I'll bet.
But wouldn't be
Endless enjoyment from your
would,
sackball. Fuck.
wouldn't be
Who gave us this topic?
Jack Cruz.
You're
thank you, mate.
fired.
Part of 8bit.net. You do good work. Thanks, mate.
Yeah. I'm downgrading him a bit.
So, like those sort of core mobile originally, maybe they came across consoles or portables in some capacity, but
Oh yeah, chase down the HD remake of Run.
Sackboy Run. Not super proud of the fact that that is past tense. That was the sort of experience that I played, not still currently, but it's those sort of things that I'm not super. What's Rayman Run?
Fucking I don't
The
know,
one that came to
dude.
mobile, it was same sort of idea. Like some of those endless runners, those sort of things. Like, why am I doing this? What am I wasting my time?
You're
doing
like
this?
this. Yeah.
But I don't know. It triggers all the right things in the brain that I'm still. Oh yeah, right. Keep going. Go on, jump. Whatever happens to be.
Have you fallen down the hole of any like endless clickers or anything like that? Like clicking games? No.
No.
I haven't. I have new drugs for you.
What's the idea with that? Like, are you able to throw a name at, like a prominent name? Maybe that'll click. Because I don't really. Then maybe that'll click. Click. Yeah.
Like idle.
Like I remember there was that one that Molyneux did, the one that like, and everyone was kind of working on together. I can't remember what he called it, but then there was something at the very end, and it took years before people clicked.
Click of
tapped
Heroes
enough
or
whatever
something
it was.
like that.
But no, those sort of things I can't say that I've played.
Okay.
You're a big. Oh, actually, I guess there's one example of that, but it's not because that was the sort of game that got me into it. It's anything that has a really easy platinum. So I chase down like, and this is where your clicker thing comes
Avatar: The Last Airbender. Fucking.
in. Oh no! I'm thinking worse than that.
Worse than
Hang on,
that.
bear with me. I'm talking about My Name is Mayo. And this is where your clicker thing comes in. All you had to do was tap the top of this mayo jar. It just said mayo on the front, and you just tapped it. I think it was 10,000 times, I think. And there was like you could outfit the mayo jar in certain things to pop the different trophies as you were going. But ultimately, it culminated with you just tapping the top of this mayo jar 10,000 times. And if you did all the things along the way, like change the setting or whatever to outfit it however you need, you'd get the platinum. Not only did I do that once, but I did it on the Vita for a second platinum.
There you have it, ladies and
How
gentlemen.
did we get here
There you have
as a species, as a race of people, as the human race? How did we get here? What fucked up road did we walk down as a collective to get to,
That would lead people to fall down these tracks.
that would lead people to
You
tapping
into yours, me into mine.
tapping a virtual mayonnaise jar 20,000 times, 10,000 times
discovered what you get
on
for his
two
birthday.
separate occasions. Yeah,
I did it all in one night, in about 2 hours.
Just a fuckload of different mayo jars, people. Send
it
them
doesn't
Paul.
matter that you did it in one
No,
night.
it doesn't matter. That
Paul.
was 2 hours of my life I could have gotten back. No,
You know
I
what's going to be
completely
great? The
understand
people that watch this, that eventually when you're up at PAX, like you guys eventually have...
Just bring him
P2
jars
panel.
of mayonnaise.
The guy that rocks up with a crate of like mayonnaise, like, you know, everyone else is getting alcohol. And,
Here,
like,
you can
cool
tap
little,
these.
Cool little loot gifts, and they're like, I've got jars of mayonnaise for Paul. If he clicks them 10,000 times, I've got more in the back.
And here, a platinum trophy.
Yeah, you're never allowed to do signings now. You're going to have to tap people's mayonnaise jars. No euphemisms.
Tapped
Just
by Paul James.
yeah, just fucking
Oh, but Paul's
So-
mayo, tap it 10,000 times, get a platinum.
yeah.
So that's
Get the creamy
and,
mayonnaise.
And like there's similar sorts of, well, not necessarily tap games, but I'm glad you brought up because that prompted the mind.
I'm not.
No, but
I
like-
regret it entirely.
Because that managed to provide me an example. But any of those ones where it's just like that dirt cheap, the game probably costs $1.50, $2. Like,
Yeah.
why it's even up on PlayStation Network is completely beyond me. But it is for some reason.
Says
Word
Goat
gets
Simulator,
to
Iron
me at
Bread
some
and all
point
that
that
shit.
there is just a dirty, easy platinum to get, and man, I'm after it.
What about Percore? You know, like any of those? Like, are you a simulator fan?
No, not really. No.
I can't say that I'm like...
Those two things, the mobile sort of games that are really just big time wasters. But even then, I haven't fallen down in the likes of what some people do with their Candy Crushes and those sorts of things in the world.
Oh man, that's insane.
And of course, because that's also like there's the investment that goes with that sort of thing too.
Yeah.
Or that some will put in if they really topple down the well. There's those mobile games that I don't know why the hell I'm playing, but I'm enjoying them for whatever reason. And then those ones that I've gone chasing the dirty platinum for.
Yeah.
That kind of summarise the two sort of spheres where those sorts of games, like those sort of guilty pleasure games, would come from. Because otherwise, it's a bit like you. I'm not ashamed of what I play. Like I know there's some games that we discuss, and you and I probably more so than myself and Damo. There's a few points of difference in terms of the sorts of games that we like. And I might talk about, I'm really enjoying this, and you go, mate, what the hell? I'll stand by it. Just like you with some of the games that you're talking about, like I'll completely stand by it. I'm proud of whatever it is that I've played.
Tapping on mayonnaise,
that's not one of them.
Yeah.
But you can see why until this day I didn't tell you that I played it.
Uh-huh.
We were scrolling down, like I was scrolling through my PlayStation trophy list on the way through, and I saw it. And I go, "That's what I need to talk about."
That's what I need.
And then
that's what I did with Stan.
And then he goes, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "No, let's keep moving. I'll save this for the episode."
Yeah, right.
Those are the sorts of spheres where those sort of games tend to reside. Anything outside of that, even if it's one that's not necessarily been received super well.
And
there's
I have no issue playing shitty games. Like,
well, maybe they're not even shitty. Like it's totally that just for some reason the critical.
I've played some objectively bad games. Like, because sometimes you just need to know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's that. We were talking beforehand about maybe going and playing Duke Nukem Forever for a player, 2 players at some point, just for the laugh of the whole thing. To say we did it and all that sort of stuff.
There's a reason where that
morbid curiosity sort of thing kicks in sometimes.
What was that? It was like something.
I hope Damo's looking around.
What was that shitty motorcycle game?
Steam library.
Oh, really?
There's something in there.
What was that shitty motorcycle game that was like the laughing stock a few years ago? It was like Ride or Die or like something Redemption.
No, we're talking about Stay or Die.
No. That's probably
Stay or Die.
It's like something Redemption or something like that. It's like one of the worst. Sorry, I hate to whip out my phone during the
Road Rash.
Nah,
there's a good old
that.
guilty pleasure for me.
Go on
the old PlayStation 1. It was the graphics were so bad on it, and it's such a terrible. Like you're racing bikes, right? And you win everything, and all you do is you punch and kick the other motorcyclists. And it was so bad. But
Ride to Hell Retribution.
Oh,
Ride
I heard
to
that
Hell.
I heard that was putrid.
Yeah, so I've never played it, but I understand the morbid curiosity of every YouTuber or reviewer being like, I just need to know how bad.
Yeah.
Turns out really bad.
Turns
out really bad. Superman 64. It's another one of those.
You wouldn't necessarily call that a guilty. No.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes there is the need to be like, I just need to know how bad.
I have to. Yeah.
So I've played objectively bad. Not that one. I understand. I've seen enough footage to know that is a line you do not cross. But I've played some objectively bad games. I've played some disappointing games. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I'll happily speak about that shit too. Like I'll speak about games where it's like it has kind of that almost titillating level of what's a good example? Fucking there was a Suda 51 game. Killer is Dead.
Yeah.
Killer is Dead had some weird not quite sex minigame, but seducing.
Spin off down that direction.
No, seducing a woman, but you have to look at her.
Back and mashing that circle button.
Look at her business through X-ray glasses and shit like that. And,
okay.
There's the whole obviously pre-recorded female. Pleasure sounds, that type of stuff.
Really?
So it's the sort of shit that, you wouldn't want people to walk in, but it's no, I played Killer is Dead. I was hoping for a good No More Heroes-esque game.
And it just didn't work out.
And it just didn't turn out to be very good. And it also has that shit. Same with, Asura's Wrath, where there's a hot tub scene, or a playable fucking thing. That type of stuff. But even that shit, I'm not ashamed of any of that. So I still don't understand the idea of a guilty. I wear my shame on my sleeve.
Yeah, that's one. That's been cool the way this episode's worked. We've got that one person that just there's no guilt here. I played what I played. Maybe it was horrible, but I played it. Whatever.
Yeah. Shame and dignity, as it turns out, are not.
They don't stick with.
They're not super valuable.
None of us are playing those super hyper realistic dating sims and shit like that, or even the Sims, in
Or even
general.
super hyper realistic like military shooter. Like
Yeah, that's it. Like no one's sitting there like going, oh, like
Well, I mean,
far out.
that
If
they
anyone
have admitted to.
reads One Punch Man, you know, right? Guilty pleasures. You get me. You can tweet at me. These guys don't read.
Tacos Talks.
I don't read. I'm illiterate.
And you don't Twitter either.
No, I don't. Yeah. 150 characters, too many.
That's
Too
like
many.
240 now, I think.
Yeah, they doubled it.
Fucking, I don't know, dude. Like, wrong audience. Sorry.
Anything else? I think. Like,
There's
I mean, when
nothing
it
else
comes
that
to
really
movies,
springs to mind.
like, there's no video game. There's no like comic book video game that I sit there and kind of go about. Like, I mean, the Spawn movie. Like, anybody that sees that, like, anyone that goes through my DVD collection and sees that, like, at the beginning of like, like where I keep my favorites, and like, what the hell is that? And it's like, I respect that
Like Street
reaction.
Fighter, the movie, the game.
Yeah, no, God, no.
Sits alongside Super Mario Brothers.
I love
the
see, that's the
movie.
problem. I love Super Mario Brothers, that movie, man.
Yeah, but for different reasons. Like, you're not going to sit back and say that is objectively a good movie. There's
It's
just
objectively a
there's-
fantastic movie. It's not good. It is objectively fantastic. Mwah. I don't know, man.
But we won't spin off into film.
There's not. Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like,
It's the same idea.
You still
No,
like
yeah,
the like B grade movie for
Yeah.
video games equivalent, which I guess is,
THQ
they're
games.
usually
The old THQ
They're
games.
usually like movie tie-ins, like I get, but then like Spider-Man 2 or something like that.
That was actually
That was a good game.
I believe that was actually a good game. I didn't play it,
But like that was an
Like,
example of like one of those sort of lower tier games that
yeah,
turned out
it
to
struck
be.
a chord for some reason.
Yeah, and it's for me, it's hard to talk about guilty pleasures without starting to spur into the whole like cult status video
Yeah.
game, because it's like a lot of the movies that are like that generally have a following.
I guess you
that
could
make sense?
say I had not a guilty pleasure as a whole game, but an in-game guilty pleasure was like, well, apart from like driving around in Brutal Legend, that's not really a guilty pleasure. That's just amazing because
That world is awesome, and the music is great too.
But Black Flag, I used to just sail off like random destinations just to have the sea shanties.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
all the time.
No, don't be guilty of that.
I got
Don't feel guilty about that.
part,
It's like crashing
the
into
part-
a reef just so that you can.
yeah. Well, the
okay.
part is it's on Spotify, so I actually
Oh,
have
really?
the playlist
Of the sea shanties. Just the sea
shanties.
shanties, not the soundtrack. It's just the sea shanties.
Yeah, just the sea
That's awesome.
shanties. So I'll be sitting there in my car, like driving along, and I'll be stuck in traffic, and I'm like, "What do you do with the drunken sailor?" People are driving past, you're like, he's really into whatever he is. Like, the
Bloke's a
windows
pirate.
down, they're
Dude's a
always
pirate.
winding him up. Like, what the fuck am I listening to? I'm like, yes, my mission. Me just on the road, peeps.
I think we've probably ended things on a really positive
But
note.
you don't have any more?
No, those, like I said, those are kind of those two spheres. So they're those mobile crappy things, or the platinum chasing ones, tapping mayo jars. So on that note, we'll wrap things up.
Having your sack right around.
running my sack around. So that wraps up this episode of Patch. If you enjoyed it, we'll have to do more topics like this more often, so please let us know in the comments if you want us to do stupid ones like this going forward. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe. That'll allow you to get access to weekly episodes of Patched, the Video Games Club,
Xanax.
The Insider, Player 2 Plays, trailers, and a whole bunch more. For written content, make sure to visit the website, player2.net.au, where you'll find reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, Player 2 Writers Draft, and a whole lot more, contributed by some of the best talent in Australia. The Patreon, make sure to go visit that, patreon.com/player2au. Potentially kick in a few bucks to support what we're doing. We'll make more good quality episodes like this one.
And we will play shameful
We'll
games
play
on the
shameful
stream.
games for you. If that is a tier that we need to add, please let us know. We'll play some
Paul will load up
dirty,
Gal
disgusting,
guns so
You
fast.
donate $2.
dirty, disgusting games
3 cents.
for your pleasure.
Paul will play Galgun to sea shanties wearing, I don't know, anime underwear on his head.
Wearing a mayonnaise jar.
Yeah. Yep. Done. Welcome to the new tier.
Don't be touches the girl.
And finally, there's Twitter. Damo, you're at Tacos Talks. Jay doesn't do the tweeters. Paul James P2, Player2AU for the site. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you later.
See you later.
Shame.